truly, the prophets have brought you the teaching of truth, the teaching of spirit, the teaching of life in which there is guidance and light for you, and they have taught you what is right and what is non-right, so that all those knowing of the truth and those knowing of the truth, and those who are proficient knowledgeable in the laws and recommendations of the primal power creation, shall uphold everything and be guardians for the teaching, and therefore the teaching of the prophets is brought so that the authority and jurisdiction may also rightfully do their duty and issue their evaluations and decrees in equitableness, fairness, so that people of your kind, human beings, may acquire equitableness, fairness in all things, and may be led, ruled rightfully, and that no one amongst you has to fear any inequity and unfairness from the authority or jurisdiction. However, if the authority or the jurisdiction does not act according to equitableness, fairness, then it shall be removed, deposed by the people, and new authority or jurisdiction shall be appointed, and both the authority and the jurisdiction shall decide and lead according to the law and legislation in any way that is rightful, so that equitableness, fairness may be granted to all alike, irrespective of whether man or woman, rich or poor, or someone has a name, title, or someone has the standing of a common citizen or of a beggar. And consider that when you are practicing equitableness, fairness, that you do not heed the old words of false prophets, priests and servants of gods and servants of tin gods, who slanderously, calumniously, and crazily teach that you shall demand terrible punishment and revenge for misdeeds and inequity, unfairness, and other disingenuous things and outrageous crimes, such as a life for a life, an eye for an eye, a nose for a nose, an ear for an ear, a tooth for a tooth, and commensurate retribution for other injuries. But truly, the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all creation teach the truth which is opposed to punishment and revenge, so that you shall not exercise revenge, punishment, or retribution, and shall not cause harm to or hurt, torment, injure, either body or life, or either the inner world consciousness, or the psyche of the fallible ones, because you shall forgive as is given through the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all creation, so that you do not punish the blame of another by bringing blame upon yourselves as well. And if you do not act in this way, then you are no better than those who have made themselves guilty, rather you are than unfair ones, irresponsible ones, and the same as them. Since time immemorial, the true prophets have brought the teaching of truth, the teaching of spirit, the teaching of life, and reveal it as it was revealed already before you, and they give their entire existence life, to undertake their duty and to announce to you the guidance and the light of the teaching of truth, in order to fulfill what was already given to your forefathers and foremothers, ancestors, forebears, for learning, as guidance and admonishment, so that it shall be well with you. Therefore you shall direct yourselves according to what has been revealed to you through the truth of the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all existence creation. But if you do not comply with what has been revealed to you, then you are indignant ones against the real truth. Therefore, it is said to you time and time again that the teaching of truth, the teaching of spirit, the teaching of life has been revealed to you as fulfillment of what was already earlier revealed to your forefathers and foremothers, ancestors, forebears, and the teaching of truth is given to you so that you may be guardians over it and pass it on to your daughters and sons and to all those who are looking for it and manifest their thirst for knowledge. However, do not fight with give out terror against those who have evil penchants, talent against the truth, and come to you to dissuade you from the teaching of truth. Rather remain in a peaceful way with intelligent words, so that you are able to instruct the adversaries in a fitting, proper manner. Clear guidelines, guiding principles, and distinct paths have been given to each one of you through the laws and recommendations of the wellspring of all wisdom creation, so that you may follow them through your own ruling decision, and in the freedom of your own staunchness, volition. And truly, the source of all wisdom creation does not expose you to temptation. Delusion does not put you to the test. Through its laws and recommendations, Because such deeds are only the work of people of your kind, work of human beings, therefore do not compete with one another in temptations, delusions, trials, regarding who is connected to the truth and who is not connected to it. However, do compete to perform good deeds with one another and also alone, so that you may defeat evil in all things and be knowing, conscious, and wise, and not stingy, but generous instead, and learn the teaching of the prophets, the teaching of the truth of the laws and recommendations of the formation of all things creation, amongst one another, so that you bring about enlightenment in yourselves concerning all those things about which you are unknowing or at odds. Do not wish for yourselves a return to the deceitful jurisdiction of all the false prophets, their priests and servants, hands with hell press, of gods and tin gods, or to the non-right from the olden days, former times, of a no genus, and do not wish to follow the hypocritical jurisdiction of the false prophets of the present day, neither the jurisdiction of those false prophets and priests and other servants of gods and servants of tin gods with who carry out their mischief in later days future. Do not take non-righteous ones, conscienceless ones, or unfair ones, irresponsible ones, as your friends, because they are self-appointed friends, enemies against you, and if you do name them as your friends nevertheless, then truly you will soon belong to them, as you yourselves become non-righteous ones, conscienceless ones, and unfair ones, irresponsible ones, but strive within yourselves to create friendly thoughts and feelings for the non-righteous ones, conscienceless ones, and unfair ones, irresponsible ones, so that you do not confront them unfairly and do not bear disgust or hatred and other things against them, but rather that you strive to be helpful to them when they fall into misery, when they need your kind-hearted words, or when they want your instruction. The heart's thoughts and feelings of the non-righteous ones, conscienceless ones, and unfair ones, irresponsible ones, harbor an illness to which they constantly hurry, which is why they always fear that they will be overtaken by vexation and downfall, misfortune, which means they cannot achieve any victory over themselves or any other event of goodness. Therefore they require your help and your knowledge regarding the teaching of truth, so that they may feel sorry and recognize, see, the truth in their hearts, thoughts and feelings, which they are concealing, falsifying. And the non-righteous ones, conscienceless ones, and unfair ones, irresponsible ones, who swear a solemn oath for their belief assumptions, infabulated, invented, gods and tin gods, and who cast their face down into the dust before their gods and tin gods, kiss the ground, and fall on their knees before them and pray to them and pay homage to glorify them. They stand destructively before the truth and in relation to you when you are knowing ones and fair ones, responsible ones, and righteous ones, conscientious ones, and virtuous ones, and truly, the unknowing ones and unfair ones, irresponsible ones, and non-righteous ones, conscienceless ones, perform their terrible deeds conceitedly, so they are ones who are lost from the truth.